Hey everybody, PJ back with Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are going to answer the ultimate question. Is the AMG GT Black Series worth $1 million? Something that you may have seen recently when McLaren Charlotte actually listed an AMG GT Black Series for literally $999,000. A car that had an MSRP under 400 with what, like a $600,000 markup? Can you imagine that? Would you pay 3 times what a car is worth for a car, especially when it's just gotten here and in production? And is it that special? So today I decided that I'm going to do a very brief video on what I think of the AMG GT Black Series, why I am also getting one, and what you should be looking at or not looking at if you're going to be purchasing one. In addition to that, we'll be talking about why some dealers think it's okay to list a car for $1 million online and where they're getting that number from. But remember, before we get started, make sure you actually like, subscribe, and of course turn on notifications, because I'm supposed to say that. Otherwise, apparently people in 2021 still don't know how to watch a YouTube video or to give back to content creators by actually liking and subscribing and turning on notifications so they can obviously be served the ads, right? You see what I did there? I'm going to serve you ads so you can give me more money. Yeah, you get it. You know who you are out there. That guy that's like looking at my ads going, I don't want to pay you. Then eventually you pay me. Great success. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about that. And don't forget, talking about paying me, don't forget that our greatest ad for this month is actually our Black Friday and July ad, which is literally me telling you that you can get a full membership to Exotic Car Hacks, not for $1,000, but rather $197, because we're having our biggest sale of the year. We're really almost as cool as Victoria's Secret, because we teach you how to get like these exotic cars, and that you use them to get laid or not is a personal choice, you know. But Victoria's Secret basically twice a year has a similar sale where they basically help you get laid too, or something like that. Anyways, I don't know, but yeah, so bottom line is go to the description and click the actual sale thing, that link, and it'll take you somewhere where you're going to give me money, and then I'm going to better your life, so everything works out, right? Everybody's happy. But let's go back to the AMG GT Black Series for a second before I just lose my thoughts again. So very quickly, this is basically the gist as to why a dealer would list a car for $1 million, because every single one of you ended up sharing it. And basically, it was one of the greatest marketing ploy to get their car sold. What better than people saying someone is out of their mind for someone to notice and actually say, well, it's a marketing thing. I can probably make an offer backed by real money, so, and it's just for 100 over, just like every other car that sells in the market, and I'll probably take it. And that is usually the reason why dealers do things like that. It's basically to get a car to hit as many eyes as possible. Remember that most of these cars are limited enough in production that they sell themselves, meaning dealers don't have to sell these cars. They don't have to go out there and advertise them. They just have to make sure that if they list them, enough people see them. And what better way to have the whole world see them than everyone else who's outraged by the price to share it, so that everyone else who can actually afford it sees it. And at which point, anyone that's intelligent enough to afford a $400,000 car should know, obviously, that you shouldn't pay just what you're asked to. You should literally call and negotiate that. So obviously, people aren't stupid enough. If they can buy something somewhere else for $400,000, why would they pay $1 million? Now, what is the ongoing rate for an AMG GT Black Series? So the current market, as the cars are starting to hit the floor, are currently trending between 80 to 130K over MSRP. So that is the range, regardless if you're looking at wholesale or retail. The majority of cars are going for about $100,000 over retail. That's the kind of the normal scope of the game. One of the things I always recommend people doing is either spec your own car, or if it's super limited and you're not going to get one and you don't have to be the first, wait a little bit, because as more people attempt to get a markup for their car, that price competition, thankfully, the way things work in the United States, price competition ends up becoming the reason why pricing kind of stabilizes even with a markup. We saw this in the G-Wagon market, we saw this, and we'll see this in the AMG GT Black Series market. And while I'm not comparing the AMG GT Black Series to a G-Wagon, I'm just saying that when things are in short supply and in high demand, typically price goes up. But when even in high demand places, short supply becomes some supply, meaning 4 or 5 units instead of 1, then typically you have people less likely to pay a premium and get smarter and more logical about what that premium should be, at which point emotion goes away, logic kicks in, therefore better deals are on the market. So that's that. The other part that I wanted to point out is that what I think about the car in general. So I've had a chance to experience a little bit of the car, and I personally have one on order that should also get here between August and September. Now, one of the things that I believe more than anything else about the AMG GT Black Series is that I think there are 2, or should I say 3 good components that make the car kind of a home run for Mercedes. The first one is the Nürburgring lap record. And this is a big deal because Mercedes doesn't usually hold those records. This is a big deal because we've seen the hype over the cars that have, like the Performante, the SVJ, the GT2 RS, and how strong those values have held. So that's one. There is an actual data pointer record. 2, the Black Series badge. Now, recently, over the last maybe 2 years, we've seen Black Series pricing going to the roof, and with COVID, that got even pushed even faster. So SL65 Black, CLK63 Black, SLS Black, all those pricing has moved up, creating, again, huge opportunities here for a Black Series piece, and $400K is pretty cheap. Meaning, if we look at the SLS Black Series, which I think is probably the most special of all of them, again, trending in the 5s, high 4s, into the 6s. Now you have this world record holder that's actually good to drive and not a complete shitbox like the SL65. I used to own, like the SL65 Black Series I used to own, that was incredibly good looking, incredibly crappy to drive. So if I look at the future and I look at, okay, record holder, fun to drive, great car, and a Black Series badge, I go, okay, it's probably going to do much better than sticker for quite a long time. So do I expect the AMG GT Black Series cars to drop below sticker? No. Do I expect them to maybe fluctuate anywhere from 50 to 150 over sticker? Probably. And this is primarily because of the price point it comes out as. Most of these AMG GT Black Series are 350 to 400K cars, which means that ultimately they're competing with the rival of the STO, which is a healthy sticker at 410. So that literally gives you 60K right there to be basically in the market and still be a fair market value. Now, if you add compared to the other AMG GT Black Series, which were complete shitboxes, but yet still brought a premium, now you're talking about a car being worth easily 100K over because of the price point it starts in, which is very low compared to what else is on the market. I think aesthetically it's been changed enough to really drive enough of a client base to that car specifically, and its quality and craftsmanship has improved tremendously thanks to Mercedes and their last couple of years of really revamping their brand as a whole. So these 3 things really keep the AMG GT Black Series, I think, a serious contender for a good investment car. Now, that it's fun to drive or not, we're going to have to wait till I actually get my car, drive it around, and give you my real analysis of what I think. Having driven the AMG GT Pro car, which I thought was really cool, but just didn't see the appeal at the price point, I don't know that I necessarily see the appeal at the price point from a competitive standpoint if I had to choose between an STO or an AMG GT Black or an Aventador SV and so on and so forth. But I do think that the AMG GT Black Series is still an incredible investment piece, but I don't know that it's going to be the best car to buy in that range of dollars. Now, thankfully for you guys, I have all of these cars coming, including 2 STOs, one of which has already been sold. The other one that is actually coming at the end of the year is mine to keep because it's going to be Blue Glauco. It's a special order car. And then, of course, the AMG GT Black Series that will come, and we will compare the 2 and really see which one is the better car. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. If you haven't just joined us ultimately on Exotic Car Hacks, please do so right now. There's only a few days left between now and the time this incredible sale ends. This is the biggest sale of the year we have. We have one of the largest communities of exotic car owners anywhere in the world. We have 15,000 plus members currently in our community and are growing at a rate of over 1,000 members a month, which is pretty impressive and really awesome thanks to you guys. So make sure to join us. Make sure, regardless if you're aspiring to own a car or want to own a car or currently own an exotic car, you can join us and learn the strategies that have enabled so many people to get away from leasing and buying and ultimately hack their cars, which is what 90% of your YouTube celebrities are doing out there, because they're basically getting in and out of cars without losing any money using those very same strategies. So don't be fooled by thinking people are multimillionaires just because they have a couple of cars, and start learning the strategies that enable you to make purchasing exotic cars a financially responsible decision, which doesn't or has never made sense previously until hacking came along. So like, subscribe, and of course turn on notifications, and let me know your comments. What do you think an AMG GT Black Series is worth? Meaning, what price point do you think is the highest price point that someone should pay for that car? And what do you think of the car in general? Put it in the comments, and I'll catch you next time on another exotic car.